Funeral services for Jolene Dallas, age 71 of Jasper, will be at noon Friday at Coleman Heritage Funeral Home Chapel. Charles Hanna will officiate burial in Coleman Heritage Cemetery. They are in charge of the arrangements. Miss Dallas passed away Sunday in Vinemont. Visitation will be 6 to 8 p.m. Friday at the funeral home. Funeral services for Alvis Duell Finley, age 68 of Coleman, will be at 2 p.m. Friday at Coleman Heritage Funeral Home Chapel. Al Barton and Robert Finley officiate interment in Coleman Heritage Cemetery. They, of course, are assisting and directing. Mr. Finley passed away on Monday at his residence, and visitation will be 6 to 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Funeral services for Inez Stewart, 91 of Coleman, will be at 2 p.m. on Friday at Moss Service Funeral Home Chapel. Burial in the Good Hope Cemetery, Moss Service in charge. Ms. Stewart passed away yesterday at her residence. Funeral services for Francis Spiegel Phillips, age 88 of Coleman, are incomplete and will be announced later by Moss Service Funeral Home. Ms. Phillips passed away yesterday at Hansville Nursing and Rehab. Wallace Amel Drake, 78 years of age, passed away at his home on Sunday. Funeral services will be at 1 p.m. today at Peck Funeral Home in Hartselle, and interment in Flint Creek Cemetery in Vinemont following the services. And those are our obituaries for today, brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home.
Premier Bank presents Today on 2, broadcasting live at channel2coleman.com and archiving our programs on the same website. Oh, cold this morning.
It is a little chilly. It was, I think, 9 on my way to work this morning.
George said he had, what, 3? 5.6 degrees this morning.
Wow.
Said that was even colder than we had a couple of weeks ago.
Wow, yeah.
Something like that.
Man.
But I mentioned to George when I came in this morning that we have had our share of bad weather in recent years. It's nice to be on the outside looking in.
That's true.
Compared to what everybody else has gone through recently.
Yeah.
And everything was south of us yesterday.
It was, and of course the weatherman and James Spann admits it, that they just did not call it right. They missed that one, and he said, blame him, don't blame anybody else, but I'm so amazed at all these people that are stuck in traffic.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if you haven't paid any attention to the news within the last day, do not go to Birmingham today.
No.
You ain't going to make it.
I actually was headed to Birmingham this morning, but I have canceled those plans. I am not going because they say it's just still gridlock. It's just still really bad. I know I shared this with you earlier, but our boss from our management company flew in from North Carolina yesterday to Birmingham, and he got on the interstate, rented a car, got on the interstate at about 10:30. He didn't make it to Westminster until after 5 o'clock. He was caught up in traffic that whole entire time.
Yeah.
Said he tried to get off on Highway 31. That didn't work. Had to get back on the interstate. He said, but once he hit past Warrior, it was fine. It was fine. But, oh, good gracious. It was bad. It was really, really bad.
Yeah,
so.
It really was, and still is today. So be advised, it's not a good day to head south.
No.
That's for sure.
If you're going to the beach, I'd forget it.
Well, let's check our weather forecast, brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet on Cherokee Avenue. The almanac for the 29th of January in Cullman, Alabama. The average high is 52. The average low is 32. The record high is 74 in 1911. The record low 3 below 0 in 1966. Sunset this afternoon at 5:41. Sunrise at 6:20. There's the satellite picture.
Oh, there it is, huh?
Yeah, even the people at the beach had a little bit of winter weather.
Oh, and what are they doing at Key West?
Well, I don't know. I haven't looked at that, to tell you the truth. The last time I looked, it was, early this morning, as a matter of fact, it was 72.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they
so
hadn't
the
gotten
cold
it
weather
yet.
didn't get that far south this time.
Okay. Wow.
And let's see, here's our forecast for today. Sunny and breezy, a high of 27. Clear tonight, low around 13. Sunny tomorrow, warming up to a balmy 40. Friday, 52. Saturday, 57. We'll forget all about this few days by the time we get to the weekend. Sunday, 52. Monday, 48. Tuesday, 58. Chance of rain each day, but the bitter cold temperatures should be over by the time we get tomorrow.
Okay.
And hopefully things are better. Hopefully that we don't have a lot of broken pipes like we did a few weeks ago.
No.
You went through that bad situation. But as cold as it is this morning, I'm sure that may happen again.
Oh, I'm sure. You know, there's just so much you can do, and we are in the South, and we're not prepared for this kind of weather.
Right.
We were talking about this earlier, and then homes up north are just built differently to withstand the really cold weather. But we don't have to worry about all that down here. But.
And if you missed the announcements too, no school today. City or county schools, Wallace State, all closed today.
Okay.
And I think they all start with a 2-hour delay tomorrow.
Okay, good.
But anyway, so good day to stay home.
Well, it's a snow day with no snow. Right?
Yeah, I guess that's, but still it's very, very cold outside. Not nearly as windy as it has been.
Yeah, and that'll make it feel a little bit better.
Yeah, because boy, yesterday when it started snowing and the wind was blowing, very uncomfortable.
It was.
But anyway, very cold this morning, but not quite as windy. But good day to stay home, unless you absolutely have to go somewhere. But don't go south.
No, don't get on the interstate. I probably even on Highway 31. Just don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You're not going to get very far. You can get maybe out of the county. That'll be about it.
Right.
Well, let's see. Who's our Facebook friend of the day for today?
Let's take a look at that. Ann Wright. And Ann likes CMT and Branding Iron Steakhouse. So very good. But you know what? We're going to give her a barbecue sandwich from Mad Dog Mike's Famous Barbecue. And, of course, that will be in the Berlin area. Just come by here and pick up a certificate and then go get your sandwich.
Okay. George Spear is here with news and commentary coming up right after this.
At Premier Bank, we're a bit old-fashioned. We actually answer the telephone when you call. However, old-fashioned doesn't mean we aren't up to date. With the latest technology, Premier Bank meets the various needs of our customers. Mobile smartphone banking, internet banking, ATMs, convenient offices. At Premier Bank, we have the right products right now with good old-fashioned customer service. At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
Life lived in black and white is not a life lived. Today, I choose color. To see it. To feel it. To be in it. To be upon it. And to live a life surrounded by it. Today, I put on a fresh coat.
Time for news and commentary on this very cold Wednesday morning. You know, we all watched, or many of us watched, the news yesterday. During the State of the Union address last night, some stations, maybe all of them in Birmingham, I believe, were talking about the weather instead of the state of the economy. It's a toss-up as to which is worse news, you know what I mean? The news coming from the president or the meteorologist. I guess it was a toss-up last night. Nonetheless, according to one of the statements I saw in a news story this morning, the one individual stranded on Interstate 20, he said he had been there 9 hours, had not seen any kind of vehicle. It was an emergency vehicle, no fire, no state trooper, no anything. He said he got thirsty, so he ate the icicles off the side of the car. Every car had one. And people were relieving themselves on the side of the road. What do, right? I mean, you lose all humility in a situation like that because it becomes a matter of survival. Of course, in television. Have you ever noticed in television, the only time anyone has to go to the bathroom is when they show men standing at urinals? that sort of turns me off. I'm sorry, but no one says, "Hey, look, pack your gear." You know, like when NCIS, no one says, "Well, let me go to the bathroom first." You don't see that, all right? No one uses the restroom, and especially out in space and any of those science fiction things. But it's a part of reality, and you have to live with it as well as you do the cold. And speaking of cold, there are some power outages, not in this neck of the woods, in the southeastern part of the state. There are 4,000 people, just over 4,000, without electricity this morning. Yes, it could have been worse yesterday, couldn't it? How about down in Eufaula, Abbeville, Geneva? 5,000 people were without power. Tuscaloosa, there were about 2,000 people without power. In Mobile, about 900 people without electricity. So it could have certainly been worse. Locally, the search for a superintendent for Cullman County Schools. They're looking for a superintendent. No longer will you be able to vote for a superintendent for county schools. They're looking for one, and right now they're trying to determine, the Board of Education, the County Board of Education, is trying to decide just how much to pay that person. Right now, I think Mr. Coleman gets about $110,000, but they're planning to pay up between $115,000 and $120,000 for the new superintendent. The old saying, "You get what you pay for," can sometimes be true, even in jobs, you know, whenever you bring someone in. And oftentimes, if you bring someone in for the lowest amount of salary, and Mr. Coleman apparently is one of the lowest paid superintendents in the state, if you start out low, they will use this as a stepping stone. If they're a good superintendent, they'll only move on. And yet, how much can you afford? That's the issue, too. It's a double-edged sword, this thing talking about the superintendent and being appointed. Also, this morning, you know, it's kind of interesting. The Democrats are making it their issue this year to raise minimum wage, right? You know, for people. That and easing up on illegal aliens and such as that, you know, and immigration, and relaxing and making it easier. Notice the Republicans in Congress are planning to do the same thing because they want to get reelected. At any rate, the Democrats pushing for a raise in the minimum wage. 96% of the Democrats who are proposing this don't even pay their interns. Now, how hypocritic, what hypocrisy, right? To say one thing and do another. But then what else have we seen out of Washington? These people say one thing and do another. 16-year-old Texas girl, 16 years old, decided she wanted to go skydiving. I don't know if you saw the story or not. But she got her father's permission. You see, it's a law. You can't jump out of an airplane with a parachute unless you have a parental consent if you're a 16-year-old. At least that's the law in Texas. Her parachute opened, but it didn't open fully. She went 3,000 feet to the ground. And what did she have? She's still alive. She's doing well, but she has damage to her liver. She broke her pelvis, lumbar spine, and her lower back. She has a shoulder blade and several ribs broken. She also has a broken tooth. You know, I remember the only time in boot camp in the military when, usually in boot camp, especially Parris Island, South Carolina, in boot camp, you were never asked to do something. Pig, you will go do that. Girls, all together now. We will do this, we will do that, you know, we will. The only time anyone asked me a question and asked if I would consent to it was when they were getting all the information down as to who our parents were in case we were killed in Vietnam. They would get this big bundle of $2,000, right? SGLI, Service Group Life Insurance, right? So the only time I was asked the question, if I would, is will you be prepared to jump out of an airplane with a parachute? I said, of course. Well, that meant I could be sent to recon. I didn't want that. So at any rate, what they wanted to know is if you'd be a candidate to be in reconnaissance, which is like the SEAL unit, you know, for the Navy. But at any rate, 16 years old. It's a good thing she's so young. I guess maybe mend quickly. Stay tuned. More of Today on 2 after this.
We We've got a safe driver headed toward the freeway. He is doing 44 in a 45. Now
in the nation, Safe just got a little more exciting. Add vanishing deductible from Nationwide Insurance and get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Just another way we put members first, because we don't have shareholders.
Bill, that's the perfect merge. That was flawless.
Nationwide is on your side.
Everybody should be home this morning ready to win some prizes.
I hope so. Yeah.
All right, let's see what we have to give away today. We have the family barbecue package courtesy of Mad Dog Mike's Famous Barbecue in beautiful downtown Berlin. Here we go with our merchant ads for today, starting with Mullins Body Shop. Over 50 years they've been doing auto body repair and towing. You can count on them today. Call 256-734-1353.
Coast Gas has a different, of course it used to be known as AmeriGas, so now it has a different name, but it has the same personnel. Winter Tank Set Special is available, 24-hour on-call service, and 7 days a week at competitive pricing.
Brown & Company Beverages with the best beer and wine selection for this year. They're located on 157 Northwest next to the Ford store.
Autotech Repair and Service for your automobile for transmission, major engine repairs, brake, foreign and domestic cars, all this done with a TechNet Professional Auto Service.
Barnett Tax Service, Elna Barnett does tax returns, does the electronic filing, and by the way, you can start filing this week, I found out. Elna also does bookkeeping services for small businesses.
And the Busy Bee Cafe is the home of the original breaded burger. They were established in 1919 and they are still there today in their great location. Open on Fridays and Saturdays evenings from 2 to 9 for dinner.
Deb's Bookstore is your hometown bookstore just down the road. Gift certificates always available and browsers always welcome. Deb's Bookstore is on 3rd Street Southwest, right across the street from the parking deck.
And Grand Point Pharmacy. Be prepared. Don't get caught in the cold. Well, they should have told that to people yesterday. Wide selection of cold remedies are available. Fast, convenient services right there on Highway 31 North at Grand Point Pharmacy.
Jolly Time Rebels. Fun is always in the air. Call Holly Mullins to book yours today, 256-620-JOLLY. They, of course, have the inflatables, all sorts of activities available, concession equipment too, Jolly Time Rebels.
Federer Fertilizer, helping you grow. They have feed and seed, ag chemicals for the lawn and the garden, garden supplies and specialty items, located right there on County Road 222.
Night Free Insurance, providing insurance coverage for over 3 generations. Check out their website, night-freeinsurance.com, or stop by the business on 1st Avenue Southeast.
The Candle Garden has hand-poured candles in over 50 luscious fragrances, gift items, gorgeous baskets, gift baskets just in time for Valentine's Day, located right there on Highway 278.
Hansville Guns and Ammo, they're targeting high prices. Cash price right now, 15% above wholesale. Hansville Guns and Ammo, across the street from City Hall in Hansville.
The Coleman Wellness and Aquatic Center has a 6-lane competition pool, full fitness center complete with weights, cardio, and professional training, indoor rubberized walking track, aerobic and cycling classes.
There we go with some of our merchant ads. Our question for today, one of our advertisers is an award winner from Auto Owners Insurance. Tell us which business has been acknowledged by Auto Owners Insurance. 256-734-7399 is our phone number. We have the family pack of barbecue from Mad Dog Mike's Famous Barbecue as our prize for today. And go ahead and call right now as we watch Money Matters, brought to you by Premier Bank.
Good morning, I'm Caitlin Rush with Premier Bank, and today's Money Matters topic is Internet Banking. Internet banking is a useful tool everyone can utilize and take advantage of. Internet banking allows you to access your account online 24 hours a day. So if you're wondering about your balance, what checks have cleared, when your loan payment is due, or you would like to transfer money at any time of the day, you can have access to it. So run by your local bank and sign up for internet banking today.
Which of our advertisers has received an award from Auto Owners Insurance? Should be pretty easy, I would think today. Our prize for today is the Family Barbecue Pack from Mad Dog Mike's Famous Barbecue. 256-734-7399 is our phone number. I guess we don't have somebody calling in today, so we'll show you the rest of our ads. Tires for less, more than just tires. They do oil changes, minor engine repair, replace shocks and brakes. They're on Highway 31 North. See Greg and the guys at Tires for Less.
And Earl's Body Shop has been voted the best towing service, so David, Diane, and the employees want to thank you for this great honor. They have large and small towing available, local or long distance, and they are a body shop. Earl's Body Shop, right there on Highway 31 North.
Cotton State Barnes of Cullman is located on Highway 278, just west of the interstate, and they make a wide variety of things: carports, play sets, utility trailers, and storage buildings.
Barnett Tax Service does tax returns, electronic filing. She also can do bookkeeping services, including the W-2s and the 1099s, serving Coleman now for 41 years. No appointment is necessary. Just walk in and visit Miss Elna Barnett at Barnett Tax Service.
Federer Fertilizer, helping you grow, and they sell quite a few items like fertilizer, feed and seed, ag chemicals, lawn and garden supplies, making you think ahead to spring, doesn't it? Federer Fertilizer.
Yes, it does. Another one to make you think ahead to spring and summer would be going to Be Fit, because you want to fit into that swimsuit. Change your life and your body by going there. They even have a personal trainer that will help you, and it's just $50 a month.
Mr. Hicks Menswear has suits and sport coats made to your measurements. Of course, they also have suits and sport coats on the rack, as well as casual clothing. Mr. Hicks Menswear on Compass Way.
And Dairy Queen is featuring that peanut butter cup pie blizzard. That's the blizzard of the month, all through the month of January, so you've just got a couple more days. Go by Dairy Queen and pick up a blizzard, the peanut butter cup pie. Well, that sounds so yummy.
Mad Dog Mike's Famous Barbecue. The Family Barbecue Pack is $13.99, and you get a full pound of meat, 2 sides, and 4 buns, located inside the Berlin Quick Stop on Highway 278.
Yates Chance Christian Bookstore. Snuggle up to winter with a good book. They have inspirational books, humor, social issues, biographies, fictions, you name it, they've got it. Located right there in the South Coleman Shopping Center.
There we go with our merchant ads for today. I was just thinking, I wonder between Mullen's Body Shop and Earl's Body Shop if they get called for tow trucks when Birmingham and Jefferson County, because you know that there's got to be more demand than what they have towing services there.
Oh, definitely.
So I wonder, I bet they were busy yesterday, being called to help out.
Yeah, I bet they were. So,
yeah,
my goodness, yeah. Maybe
well, let's see. Let's check our birthdays. Who's celebrating a birthday?
Let's see, Valerie Keller actually had a birthday on Tuesday, Melba Quick, and Teresa White. And all of them will be put into the drawing on Friday, where they have that possibility of winning an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen.
We'll be back with more of Today on 2 right after this.
At Premier Bank, we are very proud of the long-lasting relationships we have with our customers. We'll go almost anywhere to meet your banking needs.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Cullman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Meet the KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop. It might just change the way you cook.
Induction technology heats the pan and not the cooking surface to offer you a new level of precision, speed, and energy efficiency. 9 settings give you different levels of heat to achieve precise temperatures and amazing responsiveness. Water boils in just seconds, making this the fastest to boil induction cooktop available. The KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop.
I know many people in the audience will remember and recognize Penny and Jack Keck, our guests on the program today. Thank you for coming in today.
Well, you're quite welcome.
You left Coleman a few years ago.
Yes, sir.
7 or 8 years ago, I think, something like that, and started on an odyssey.
Yes.
Tell us, number one, why did you leave Coleman?
Well, it was reluctantly. That's the first, because we really liked Coleman. But I was in a coffee group that we met at one of the coffee places, and we'd talk about this and that and other thing. And one of the guys had a grandson, and that's all he could talk about from then on was his grandson or granddaughter. So it got us to thinking. We had at that time 5 grandchildren. There was 3 of them in Minnesota, 1 of them in Texas, and 1 of them in Florida, South Florida. And we would see them about once a year for about a week. So we didn't really get to, we thought we didn't get a chance to see them grow. So I talked to Penny about, why don't we first just go and stay a couple of months at each place. We'd just move in the house with them. And that didn't go over too good. And so then I said, well, we'll find, we'll just go to each of these 3 towns and we'll find some place we can rent for 3 or 4 months. Well, that was a chore too, because nobody wanted to rent for just a short period of time, furnished and all that. So that left us with the idea that, well, let's buy an RV. And what we do is go to each place for 4 months and visit and, see the kids grow. So that's what we did.
And let them see us, because they didn't know us as well. They wouldn't have any memories, and we thought that was important for them too.
Yes.
You got to the point where each time you saw the grandchildren, they were a different person because you hadn't seen them for a number of months?
Well, that's right. That's right. And this way, it was only about 8 months between visits for each one. So we got to see them, play ball, go swimming, swim team, and soccer, and baseball, and softball, and so we got to see a lot of them growing up, and them knowing us, and which is an extra thing.
So you summered in Minnesota, I'm guessing, wintered in Florida and Texas in between?
You got it.
Exactly correct. We're not dumb.
We had spent a Christmas in Minnesota before we started the RVing, and luckily it didn't snow that particular Christmas, but it was cold. And of course I knew it was South Minnesota, so it's not quite as bad as Minneapolis and above. But it was someplace that I didn't particularly. And to the RV park there, they closed during the winter.
We found that out the hard way. We got to Minnesota a month early one year, the first year we were out. And they don't turn the water on until the May 1st, because the ground's still frozen.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to freeze anymore. They wait till the last freeze is over.
We learned a few things about RVing on our Odyssey as well.
What memories do you have of Minnesota? And I know you still go back there, but as far as living there for a few months.
Well, let me give you some background on that. Penny lived in Minnesota. She worked in Minnesota a long time ago. Not a long time ago, but before we got married. And so it was like going home to her.
So you knew what to expect.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends there.
Right.
But I also had clothes, the right kind of clothes when I lived there. So you don't want to go there without the boots and everything else that goes with it.
Long coat.
In the wintertime.
The thing that I think about summers in Minnesota is mosquitoes.
They're terrible.
Well, I wouldn't say it was terrible. They didn't bother me that much, but maybe I'm just not the right flavor. But the thing that got me was it was so green when it gets springtime and summer, and it stays green all year. It doesn't turn brown like it does here. And in Winona, where we were staying in the campground that was right on the Mississippi River. So I could go fishing just, 100 yards away.
And fishing's good in Minnesota.
Pretty good, pretty good. It's a different kind, but it's pretty good. I didn't have a boat, so I always fished off the bank. But I caught most every kind of water. I caught my first pike, northern pike, which is kind of like a gar, but it's a better looking, fish, but they got a mean mouth.
I will say that, except for Texas, Jack was always able to find us an RV park on the water, some kind of water, pond, lake, river.
Now, where did you stay in Texas?
North of San Antonio, in this really neat little town called Bernie. It's you could, if you like to go antiquing, you can spend a week there. And very friendly, very nice town. We were really close to everything. And get on the highway, and 25 miles, that's our daughter.
Okay.
So it was really, really nice.
And which months of the year did you spend in Texas?
Usually fall.
Yeah, usually in the fall. We got there, when was it? I guess it was in I don't remember.
Well, the first time we went in fall specifically for a purpose. Our grandson was a senior in high school.
And playing football.
And he was playing football. And our daughter's a single mom, and so she was the only one there in the stands yelling for the kids. So we figured she needed at least 2 more people watching play football on a regular basis. So that was the reason we started where we started and when we started. Minnesota too early in April, and then on to Texas during football season, and then our kids at that time were in Florida. So Florida was a nice place to spend the day.
And
we had
Florida?
An RV.
We were in
park.
Tarpon Springs.
No, where is that?
It's just a little bit north of Miami.
Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah, Miami.
Okay. So you're in South Florida.
Not Miami, and I can't think of it either. Tampa.
Yeah.
Okay. You're in the central part of the state then.
And that was good. It was right on the water too.
Right.
We had there was a river actually that was running, and we were about a mile where it emptied into the Gulf.
Now, to bring you up to date, you have come back to Alabama.
Right.
Yes.
And why is that?
Well,
Default.
2 years ago, we had a Keck Grisham reunion in Texarkana. Penny's from Texarkana, Texas, although she was born in Arkansas. And I'm from Arkansas. And we had a reunion of all of our grandkids and kids for the first time ever. Got all in one place.
At Christmas, right?
At Christmas. And the Saturday after our supper and all, the children said, hey, come in the living room, we want to talk. And we thought we were going to talk about what we're going to do for breakfast next morning. And they had a couch similar to this and set us down in the couch, and they had 5 chairs out in front of us. They sat in a chair and says, we think you guys are too old to be on the road hauling your home around.
Now, that's not how they said it. They said it beautifully because they were very, very concerned about us.
Yeah.
Jack had, his eyesight had started downhill, and I was losing my hearing, and we only had one driver at the time, and they were worried about us. And but that's what they said. They just said it, 20 minutes, and it with a lot of love. But of course we couldn't stop then, just because we couldn't let them run our lives, But but we had already been thinking about it.
Yeah, that's one of the things I told them. I said, well, we really think about that sort of thing every day, but we just didn't want to give it up yet because we were making it okay, and Penny was keeping us safe, and we were enjoying the kids and all that. So anyway, in 2 more years, we just said, well, maybe we ought to, and. So my son, by that time, who had lived in Florida, we had moved to Gadsden, and he works for Life of Alabama there. So we decided, well, let's just move to Gadsden and sell the RV and the truck, get us a house, get a little car that Penny can drive easily, because she had a big GMC 2500 truck that she was trying to wrestle around all the time. And so that's what we're doing now. We came back in November, and we've done all those things. We've sold the RV and truck. We're in a house now, and just loving it. Just loving it. And we're close enough to Coleman that we can come back every now and then.
Our youngest grandchildren are here.
Yep.
We have 3 that are in. They're not in college. If they're not in college yet, they will be in a few months. And so we tell them they got us by default, but and they laugh about it. So.
Well, thank you for taking the time to come and see us today.
Thank you so
much. And I know
much.
you're going to take the time to see friends here in Coleman while you're here also.
Oh yeah. And we like this area. We lived here, for 6 years.
Yeah.
And just really enjoyed it here. Really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Thank
we'll
you
be
all
back
very
with
much.
more Today on 2 right after this.
There's stuff around your house, but we don't make stuff. We make ovens. Dual fuel, double ovens. And they bake so evenly that now delicious is something you can depend on. We only make things for one room. The best room. Your kitchen. We're devoted to it. And you can feel it in everything we make. Nobody knows the kitchen like KitchenAid.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Coleman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
And I saw her the next morning, and when I went in to bring her breakfast to her, I saw her feet on the floor, and I thought she was dead.
The doctors had told me that I shouldn't drive it.
Needs. We're efficient, safe, and sound, and our relationships with our customers are second to none.
At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
Now it's time for our community billboards, brought to you by Pepsi and Coleman Jefferson Gas. The 18th annual Big Band Dance will be taking place on Friday, February the 7th from 7 to 9 at the Coleman Civic Center, and they are offering free dance lessons 30 minutes prior to the dance. Miss Senior Coleman Pageant has been moved to Saturday, February the 15th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's at the Wallace State Community College in the Betty Leith Haynes Theater. And the BCB Cafe presents Pints for Paws on Saturday, February the 15th at 7 o'clock. Go and support the Coleman Area Animal Welfare Association by buying a pint of draft beer. And the Empty Bowls of Coleman is going to be taking place on February the 17th. It's the 11th annual chili dinner from 4 to 6:30 p.m. And if you have a community billboard, you can email us at channel2coleman@gmail.com, fax 256-734-7680, or be a friend on Facebook, Channel 2 Coleman.
Our weather forecast brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet. Make the switch to Mitch. It will be sunny and breezy again today, a high of 27. Clear tonight, low about 13. Sunny tomorrow with a high about 40 degrees. And who is our guest for tomorrow?
I believe Ann Mullins.
Ann Mullins
from
will
the
be
Better
here
Business
tomorrow.
Bureau.
That's our program for today, brought to you by Premier Bank.
I hope you have a warm day.
Yeah,